Welcome to your online coffee break, where we discuss bite-sized topics that inspire, educate, and entertain. Here's your host, a software innovator, award-winning marketer, and astronomy and space buff, Chuck Fields.
Hello, thanks for joining me today for your online coffee break. Today, I am thrilled to introduce my special guest, Gloria Estefan. Gloria has won 3 Grammy Awards, numerous international chart-topping hits, including Conga, Rhythm Is Gonna Get You, Cuts Both Ways, Get On Your Feet, and Don't Want to Lose You. Her amazing music sales surpassed more than 75 million worldwide, making her one of the best-selling music artists of all time and the most successful female Latin crossover artist ever.
Online coffee break.
Hi.
Gloria, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I am wonderful. Again, Gloria, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I cannot tell you just how much it means to me. I remember well when Conga came out and how it took the world by storm years ago. And your album Cuts Both Ways was one of the first CDs I ever owned.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah. Now here we are, face to face, sort of.
Yes. Nice.
Decades later, you're still going strong. You just released your 14th studio album, Brazil 305. I'd love to talk about that, but what I want to talk about is I understand the 305 on that is more than just an area code. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. Well, I found out afterwards. I can't take the credit. It was one of those coincidences, and I really don't consider things coincidences.
Right.
But there are exactly like 305 different ethnicities or cultures in Brazil, like tribes between everything. And I thought that was really amazing. The Brazil 305 in the title is meant to be a link between Miami, the area code of Miami, and Brazil. But it happened to be that, and I thought that was wonderful. We did a documentary that actually is going to be released later on this summer. Excellent. I went to Brazil pre-COVID, and it's about kind of the nexus between the African roots that Brazil and Cuba share, heavily from the Yoruba tribe. So, and we talk about all the different, rhythms and things that intersect and interweave, which became a part of our music and is a big part of that album and Primitive Love and, Let It Loose albums as well, that Afro-Cuban mix, African being a big, big part of that root.
It is so much fun, and it looks like you had so much fun filming the video for your lead single. I'm probably going to hash the name, Cuando Hay Amor.
Cuando Hay Amor, that was right.
And that was released last summer.
Well, the H is silent in Spanish. Ay.
Yeah, so it looks like you had so much fun doing the video, and then you also re-recorded some of your famous hits with a Brazilian flair. I mean, you have samba, Rhythm's Gonna Get You, so much more. How would you describe sort of the Brazilian theme to our audience?
Okay, well, little known fact, I have loved Brazilian music my entire life. My mother was a hardcore Carmen Miranda fan and a lot of other musicians that were in Brazil that did not become as internationally popular as Carmen. So from the moment I was a very, very young child, she was kind of performing these things for me in the living room because she was the diva of the family. And then when I joined the band at 17, I asked Emilio to learn Corcovado, Desafinado, Chica de Ipanema, which I would sing in Portuguese. And often on tour, we would do samba versions of our tunes. Wow. So it was kind of full circle when Afobede from Sony came to me and said, I know how much you love Brazilian music. And rather than just recording some Portuguese versions of Here We Are, which we did, or of Don't Want to Lose You,
right.
How about if we were to reimagine or envision your songs as if you had been born in Brazil? What would they have sounded like?
Oh, I love that.
And that immediately sparked my imagination. And I thought, oh, yes, this would be such a fun thing to do. And, you always need that creative spark to go into the studio to do anything. And that really made me very excited. And I handpicked the songs that I thought would be no-brainers. There were some that were surprises that worked out amazing. And then Cuando Hay Amor, the first single, is an original tune. And we were in Brazil shooting the documentary, and I wanted to shoot it with the legitimate baianas, those ladies from Bahia, where all these rhythms were born in Brazil. And the fans have really loved it. I did a very big hit called, that I wrote English and Spanish versions to. In Brazil, in Portuguese, it's O Mem Falu, which means the man speaks. And it talks about unity and world peace. And I really wanted to write versions in both languages. So I did that, and fans tend to gravitate towards that one as well.
Well, it is a fantastic album, and I want to encourage all of our audience to go out there, download it right now if you haven't already. Also, you are so busy. I just found out recently that you started working with Andy Garcia for the remake of The Bride. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. We just shot our opening scene, which is I can't get into the specifics because it'll blow, the surprises from this version of Father of the Bride.
Right.
But, Andy and I, we've known each other forever. He used to jump in and sit in with us when we were the Miami Latin Boys. He lived in Key Biscayne, and we often played gigs at the Sonesta and hotels down there where he would be someone at the party, and he would jump in and perform with us before he was Andy Garcia, famous actor. So we've known him for years, and he's a good friend. When he invited me, him and Warner Brothers and Gaz Alazraki, the director of the film, wrote me to tell me, he actually wrote me a text, goes, "Hey, I'm going to send you a script. I want you to be in this with me." And when I read the script, I fell in love, and it's really funny and a great film. And to be co-starring with him is just a joy. It feels very familiar, and at the same time, it's going to be real different because we're actually married in the movie. So it's awesome.
Do you have a release date for it? Is there a release date yet, or is that still to be determined?
I imagine it'll be next year sometime because we're shooting now as we speak.
I know. I saw the famous crazy squirrel video that you had.
I know. Which, by the way, I wanted to do this with you today because this is the only day I have off probably in the next few weeks. And I wanted to make sure to be able to talk to you. But yeah, I'm having a blast. We're really enjoying this so much. Everybody's great. It's a great cast.
We are so glad to hear it. We cannot wait till that comes out. I do also, I mentioned that, you're very active on social media as well. And one thing, I really enjoyed your recent video that you posted from Atlanta. I believe that's where you're filming.
Yes.
But it was about the Olympics and about how you're reminiscing about your song Reach and how you performed that at the 1996, oh my gosh, closing ceremonies. Can you believe it's been 25 years?
I can't. I honestly can't. I mean, funny enough, I'm not the one that follows these things. I find out all these dates from my fans, who are like the best PR people in the world. And they'll DM me and tell me, "Hey, did you realize that it's the 25th anniversary and you happen to be in Atlanta?" And I go, wow, I'm going to ask my driver on the way back from the set to take me to the stadium. It now has a different name, but it was really exciting. That was a tough moment because if you remember, there had been a bombing in Centennial Park for that. And I was actually on the road. I was on tour. And I was in Vegas right before I came for the closing ceremonies. I left Emily behind. She was 2 years old. She was on tour with me because I knew we were going to be locked down. And we were locked down in the stadium from early morning because we had to rehearse and run through all, there was floats and moving parts and all this stuff. And then we couldn't leave. So everybody was locked down, and it was euphoric, the feeling of those athletes that they got so happy and probably had a few by the time that they got it. They ran on my float, and then I thought, oh no, the float is going to tip over because they all literally came up and ran up. It was very magical, but singing that song with all those people behind me and such a special night, and what an accomplishment for those athletes. I mean, they trained so hard. So they were very, very happy. And I was thrilled to be a part. A little daunting when they asked me to write a song for the Olympics. But I wrote a song that I figured anybody could pick up a guitar and play. And I wrote it from the position of me having to get up every day after that accident and talk myself into getting out of bed because it was rough. And to me, that was the closest that I could imagine to be an Olympic athlete training for a marathon, because I had to literally train and relearn to walk and do all that. So that was
Gloria, if I may, I did want. I was kind of hesitant to bring that up because I'm sure you get tired of talking about it, but I just want to just tell you how inspirational that was. Because I remember where I was. I think it's March 1990. I was sitting in a restaurant and the news came on, and I was one of the multitudes that sent prayers your way.
I felt those prayers.
You did, and you literally come out of the dark.
I used them. I use them. I would imagine when I was in the hospital, I would literally feel like I was plugged into the wall, and my family thought I was delusional. And I kept telling them, I'm telling you, I'm going to be okay. I'm feeling all this energy and love. And I would meditate and imagine it going into my spine and reconnecting things I didn't know. It was called visualization later on because they hadn't named it yet.
Right.
But I absolutely used it, and it was very powerful for me.
Well, it was very inspirational for all of us, and you literally, got back on your feet. And I love Get on Your Feet. And I understand there's actually a musical called On Your Feet. Can you just tell us briefly about that?
Yes, it opened first in Chicago for previews in June of 15. And it ran for a couple months there, and then it ran 2 years on Broadway. It did amazingly well. We got great reviews. It toured the country for another 2 years here in the States. It opened on the West End in London and in Holland, and it was in the middle of the European tour when COVID hit and everything had to be shut down. But we were about to open shows in the Philippines and Singapore and Japan. It will happen again. I'm sure it'll come back. We've actually already opened in a couple of regional places in the US again, because now in the US, it's now at that phase where regional theater can go. I'm excited about when it is able to be done in high schools. I would love to see that play performed in a high school, but people loved it and they found it inspirational, which is what we wanted, to try to do what the music did through the play.
I think that's so wonderful. And I do have to say, just speaking of On Your Feet and the pandemic, I love the parody video you did, Put On Your Mask.
Yes. Thank you. My friend, one of my close friends from high school, who I know since I'm 14, Dr. Eileen Marty, was one of the top infectious disease specialists she is in the country.
Wow.
And she called me on a Sunday, Glo, I need your help. It's very important that everybody wear masks, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to really make this a priority. So please, I need you to do this for me. And then I got pictures of masks that another friend was making, and I go, forget it. I'm being enlisted by the universe. And I wrote it that day. We were sequestered, so my assistant and I had a green screen I'd bought 2 years before, and I just started pulling all this crazy stuff. I do have a lab coat with my name on it, believe it or not. I did not have that made because I'm the family doctor, and as a joke, they got me a lab coat. So everything was perfect. And, it's important. I think it's still the best thing we had to help us through this whole thing.
Well, it certainly helped us through it too. And I know we're kind of wrapping up on time here, but I want to just end with kind of a deep statement is, you and Emilio have been married for over 40 years.
Yes.
And just what's your secret? What advice would you give to the married couples out there that want to,
I wish I had a secret because I would bottle it and sell it. But look, we're going to be married 43 years, September 2nd.
Congratulations.
Our son was born on our second anniversary. All I say is, girls, keep shaving your legs, and boys, keep treating your wife as if she's your girlfriend. If you both take care of each other, everyone is taken care of. And the one thing that you can't make the mistake is that, when you get married, you are no longer just you. Right. You're a team, and that team has to be together in everything. You have to share decisions. You have to share hard times. You have to balance. Sometimes some people will need to take the lead and do certain things, and sometimes it'll switch up, but you're a team and you got to keep looking at each other like that. And I also say, you can always have differences of opinion and arguments and whatever. Don't ever cross the line of respect, because you can forgive things, but forgetting like harsh words, or when you're angry, if you cross the line of respect, I think those things, they chip away, little by little at relationships. And you can have a difference of opinion. Just remember to keep respecting each other. And I think that helps.
Wonderful advice from the beautiful Gloria Estefan. Gloria, I want to just thank you so much for joining us today. We love your music. We love your activities. We just cannot wait for Father Bride to come out. And is there anything else that we need to
Thank you so much. No, look, I really want to thank everyone that through the years has sent so much love my way and has supported our music and all the projects we do. I just want you to know that you're important to me. And whenever I put out music or anything, I think about the impact that it might have. I try for it to be inspirational or just fun, that you can forget yourself for a while and dance, or maybe give you words to communicate with someone that you may not have on your own. So thank you for listening and for giving me the blessed life that I've had and the privilege of making music for so many people. I don't take that for granted.
Online coffee break.
Wow, I really enjoyed my conversation with Gloria today. What an honor it was to speak with her. I'm really enjoying her latest album, Brazil 305. Highly encourage you to download it. It's available wherever you get your music. Also, really excited about her upcoming appearance in the movie Father of the Bride with Andy Garcia. Cannot wait till that comes out. At any rate, I want to thank her for joining me today. I want to thank you for joining us as well. Again, we really appreciate it if you give us a like or share this episode with a friend. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today, and make it a good one. See you next time. God bless.